So I read a great called "It's Getting Better All the Time," and this is a classic. I would encourage everybody to go out and get it, even though it's about 20 years old. But it's written by Stephen Moore and Julian Simon, and it just goes through it just compares different stats from 1900 up to 2000. 100 years. What actually happened in the world? Let's just take a picture of it. And when you just see all of this, you have to be optimistic. So in this period, life expectancies have doubled in that period of time. Many diseases are eradicated, like tuberculosis, diphtheria, and yellow fever, which were the biggest killers of humans back then. And, that's mainly because of vaccines. So global incomes are all at an all-time high now and still continue to rise. Absolute poverty, like I said, is down 90% in the last few years. We have new technologies like internet and smartphones and streaming services and all kinds of new technologies that make a huge difference in our lives. I think we've all seen that. So now real pollution, not, climate change is carbon, which we exhale, but real pollution, which is, particulate matter, nitrogen oxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, like the real pollution is actually way down. I think it's down about 90%. I was trying to find the stat from 100 years ago. I think people forget that, Los Angeles used to have smog everywhere. We forget, what real pollution is. Now we have a carbon issue, but real actual pollutants, poisons are mostly, are actually down a lot. So also humanity has access to more food, more education, cleaner water, safer sanitation. A few decades ago, there was prediction that, we were going to run out of food worldwide and there was a limit to the growth of what we could have. And that turned out to be totally false. We produce more food than we need around the world today. There's a rise in global happiness, we have the political empowerment of women, IQ scores around the world are rising. We have continued rise in vaccines that, to protect us against contagious diseases, falling cancer death rates, increasing democracy, fewer and less lethal wars, risk of dying of natural disasters is actually down 99%. So, even if climate change gives us more disasters, I don't think there's any doubt that the people dying from natural disasters is going to continue to fall over the next 100 years. So also we have an increasing global tree canopy compared to 35 years ago. Increasing access to electricity, that's actually a huge reason for the reduction of poverty as well. And, internet-driven access to information. It's spreading all over the world. We have access to information that we never did before. Literacy is up to, it's about 80% now globally, compared to 20% 100 years ago. And, we have Moore's law, that, the Moore's law is that the computer power doubles every 2 years, so it grows exponentially. And that's just kind of continuing. That's why we're seeing more and more power of all computers and all the new innovations that we're getting. So what we need is, freedom and brain power to keep developing these new ideas and inventions that benefit us all. And we have this invisible hand, the elegant beauty of capitalism, raising all of our life, standards of living. So, the question is, we've seen nothing but progress in the past. So on what basis should we expect nothing but decline in the future? I think that's the optimism that we all need to feel. Optimism is the only realism.